Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about how to crack CISM certification exam in the first attempt and how inSAKE will help you through this entire process. So let's get started. So these are the topics that we will cover in this presentation. We'll talk about how CISM is harder than most people expectation. Why CISM smart professionals fail CISM a lot of times. Also, the top five reasons why these candidates fail, as well as the type of questions that are designed. Then we'll go through in detail about the different domains as well as the best study resources and the intensive study plan that inSAKE has devised. We'll then finally talk about how inSAKE will help you through this entire process. So let's begin. CISM is harder than how most people expect it to be because it has a 50% global fail rate. However, with inSAKE's training, we have a 90% pass rate. And also, we have 150 plus scenario-based questions. So, what unprepared candidates do? So, they rely on their experience, but they do not know that CISM tests manager judgment, not your experience. And you study like a textbook examination by memorizing everything. This is not how it should be, as most of the questions are scenario based. Also, giving mock exams is very important, and INSEC will give you plenty of questions to practice with. And also, using only one resource is very detrimental. So, what are the top five reasons why CISM candidates are uh, fail their first attempt? So, first is the wrong study order. So, they skip on the highest weighted domain, which is domain number three or domain number four, which both combined will have a combined weightage of 63%. Also, they skip the full-length mock exam and therefore are not able to test their stamina, as this is an exam that requires a lot of stamina. Also, you ignore scenario-based questions, treating it like a knowledge test, and therefore focusing more on memorizing and less on understanding. And also, lack of practice leads to time mismanagement, and therefore spending too long on hard questions is detrimental. Also, using the wrong resources. We'll go about this in further detail in the upcoming slides. So, how are CISM questions designed? So, there is a critical shift. CISM does not test your knowledge, and therefore, you do not need to memorize a lot of things. You need to understand it because it wants to test whether you think as a security manager or not. So, you need to make sure that you have technical expertise and also you have memorized ISO 27001 as well as NIST. And also mostly make sure that the technical correct option is usually the correct answer. And direct and quick action answers are preferred by ISACA. It also tests judgment, like what would a security manager decide in this sort of a scenario, and also business alignment and governance. Also, these are the perspective with which you have to go and answer every scenario based question. Now let's look at CISM answer logic and domain weightage. So you have to, while answering your question, you have to read the last sentence first, and this is usually the main question. Also, you have to identify which management role this question pertains to, followed by eliminating the extremist options. So obviously, there are questions which will have options such as immediately fire, shut down systems. So these are very extremes, and you should not go for answers like this. As also, you should select the answer that has governance relations, as that is the most preferred by ISACA. And managers are not supposed to fix the problems; they are only supposed to report. You have to keep that in mind. So there are four main domains in this test. This includes 33% for information systems program development, 30% for incident management, 20% for domain for risk management, and 17% for security governance. So these are the most difficult types of CISM question traps, or the most dangerous ones. First is the primary concern framing. You need to make sure that you know about highest business risk impact and not the most obvious technical problem. Also, there is long scenario and short question sort of a question where you have three paragraphs of context, but only one simple question at the end. In this, you need to know, you need to stand the scenario for context, but make sure that the answer which you give is only for the last part of the question, which is the actual question. Also, you have the most important sort of a question where you have to select the most important or the most suitable answer out of many correct answers. So you have to make sure that you answer the question which is the most governance alliance and most more risk-based and the most board reportable answer. Also, there is an immediate action trap. So there are questions which ask you for your immediate action, and you have to make sure that ISAC rarely wants answers where you want immediate action. Usually, the course of action includes containment, documentation, and then escalation through proper channels. Now, this is the 10-week intensive versus 18-week working plan for professionals. So we have two types of plans. The first is the 10-week intensive plans. This is for people who are non-working professionals and therefore they have more time to study. So here from week to 1 to 2, you will start with your D3 domain 3 foundation. From week 3, you will start with your domain 4 incident management, and from week 4, you will do domain 1 and 2, as these have 17 to 20% weightage only. Week 5 to 7, you will start with your mock programs, and 7 hours per day, you will give two full mocks per week. Okay. And from week 8 to 9, you will start with your targeted drills where you will fix on all your weak areas. This you will get to know after watching your after analyzing your mock exams, and you will have domain sprints. Also, your target will be 80% plus accuracy. And week 10 is the final sprint plus exam. Here you will only review, and you will do a light study from Monday to Wednesday and rest till Thursday, and start by and give the exam on Friday or Saturday. Now, this is a 18-week plan. This is for working professionals who do not have that much free time to study. So week 1 to 2 will be ECO plus D3. We will start it and we will study 1.5 hours per day and 4 hours for Saturday and Sunday or on days when you do not have to go to office. Then you have week 3 to 6, which is D3 mastery. Week 7 to 9 is D4 incident management. Week 10 to 13 is D1 and D2. Week 14 to 16 is mock programs where you will do full mocks on Saturdays, and then you will have them reviewed by your mentor on Sunday. And then week 17 to 18 will be final sprint plus exam. So how do you master each domain? So the first domain is security governance. Here you have to remember that these are the key frameworks, and you have to, from an exam angle, think like an CISM. So ISACA wants governance first answers, and board alignment is also a preferred outcome. Policies must precede control, and as well as strategy. You should have a most complete governance option for strategy questions. And how a CISO is supposed to only report the problem and never implement things alone without proper channeling. Now we have domain 2, which is 20% of the exam. Here you have to study smarter. These are the key frameworks. And from an exam angle, you have to make sure that risk managers assess and they do not control everything. And also quantitative analysis supports but does not replace your actual judgment. Residual risk also requires documented management acceptance, and sequence matters. You have to first identify, assess, treat, and then monitor everything. Now we have domain 3, which is IS program development. This is 33% of the exam and therefore requires a lot of study time. These are the key frameworks which you have to study on. And this from the exam angle, you have to make sure that you know that program managers are supposed to coordinate everything and not implement everything. Security investment also aligns to risk treatment decisions. Controls must also map back to identified risks. So therefore, D2 comes before D3, and also maturity models show program direction, not just status. Now, how will you master domain 4? This also includes a very big weightage, which is 30%, and you have to keep in mind that these are the key frameworks that you need to keep in mind while going and studying this domain. From an exam angle, you have to also make sure that you know that incident managers are supposed to coordinate and not be forensic analysts. Communication to board and regulators is very important and should be done before you actually go about fixing the problem. Containment also should come before eradication, and therefore the sequence of this is really important. Now let's look at the best resources and the strategies for studying for this exam. So ISACA is the biggest and the most important resource, followed by ISACA CISM review manual, ISACA QA practice database, as well as inSAKE's 1,000+ scenario question bank, and then Hemant D. Doshi CISCM supplementary questions. These are all the important resources which you can use to study for this exam. And this is the error log method which you have to do using inSAKE. So here, after every mock exam, you have to log each answer and which domain they comes from, and as well as the concept and ISACA principle from which it belongs. And therefore, you will be able to understand your weaker points. And you have to make sure that you practice the time management skills that you require for this exam. So you have to make sure that you do not spend more than 1 minute and 6 seconds per question. So this is inSAKE's mock test strategy, and this is how it works. So we have a domain analytics dashboard. So every time you mess up a question or each section after your mock exam, we have a dashboard which will tell you which exact domain you need to work in. We have a timed full mock, so which will simulate exactly how the exam works. We also have a score progression tracker where we do week by week score tracking, and we make sure that you reach at least 80% before the exam. So you'll be able to understand how ready you are. Also, inSAKE structured mock program is one of the biggest reason why we have almost 90% plus first attempt pass rate. So this is the last 7-day countdown plan for our exam day. So on day 7, you will do D3 plus D4 revision, and in day 6, you will do week domain drill. Day 5, you will do a full mock exam, and in day 4, you will only do a light revision. On day 3, you will make sure that you confirm the center which you want to give the exam to or your online setup. Make sure that you get plenty of rest. On day 2, you do not study. You have to absolutely rest. You have to walk and watch something light as well as trust your preparation. And on day 1, you have to arrive 30 minutes early, brain dump, and start pacing for question 1 itself. This is the exam execution strategy. These include tricks such as brain dumping 5 minutes before. Make sure that you do not spend more than 1.6 minutes per question. Flag and skip the hard questions. There is no use in uh, wasting your time on questions which you cannot handle. Apply the inSAKE framework, which includes last sentence, checking the last sentence, checking the management roles, eliminating the extremes, and making sure that the answer you choose is governance based. Also, 50% of your questions will feel uncertain, and that is normal. You should make sure that you trust on the judgment training that has been given to you by inSAKE mentors, and also trust your first instinct with your questions and do not be confused. So if you don't pass, inSAKE has a very nice safety net. So if you do not pass certain sections or certain domains, ISACA can give you another attempt after the 30 days, and also second and third after 90 days each. So there are plenty of attempts which you can give. Also, if you are not able to pass, your next CISM attempt fee will be paid by inSAKE itself. So it is zero extra cost and therefore zero risk, and your mentorship will also continue and get an extent until you pass this certification. We will also do a root cause diagnosis to make sure that you know why, what made you not pass, and what were you lagging behind on. So these are some of the inSAKE first attempt CISM pass stories and how these people each upgraded their career using inSAKE's training courses and getting their certification. So what are you waiting for? You should join inSAKE CISM exam prep program today. We have plenty of perks which we can provide to you, and we have also have a pay after passing model where you do not have to pay until you get the certification in your hand. I hope this presentation was helpful to you. For more information, you can go to this link or also contact us on this number for free CASM counseling. Thank you, and I hope this presentation was of use.